Why the path of knowledge matters. From the dawn of humanity, our ancestors have looked at the stars and asked questions. Why does the sun rise? Why do the seasons change? Who are we? It is this curiosity, the hunger to understand, that has propelled humanity forward from caves to civilizations, from myths to science, from whispers of fear to symphonies of discovery. Knowledge is not just information written in books or stored in computers. It is the very act of seeking, of expanding our awareness, of refusing to be satisfied with ignorance. Knowledge gives us the ability to see patterns, to anticipate outcomes, to make decisions that shape not only our own lives but the destiny of generations. Without knowledge, we stumble in darkness. With knowledge, we carry a lantern that illuminates the unknown. 2. Knowledge is not enough. Wisdom is the goal. And yet, let us be clear, knowledge alone does not equal wisdom. A person may memorize thousands of facts and still live foolishly. A person may collect diplomas and still fail to understand the meaning of life. Wisdom begins when knowledge is transformed. When facts are not only remembered but connected. When ideas are not only understood but lived. When learning is not only about the mind but also about the heart. Wisdom is knowing not just what to do, but why and when. It is the ability to discern, to choose rightly even when choices are hard. It is the courage to admit what we do not know, and the humility to keep learning. The path of knowledge, if walked with sincerity, leads us to this wisdom. 3. Enlightenment, the light beyond wisdom. If knowledge is the road, and wisdom the companion, then enlightenment is the horizon. Enlightenment does not mean we suddenly know everything. It means we see differently. We see more deeply, more compassionately, more clearly. Enlightenment is that moment when anger gives way to understanding, when resentment dissolves into forgiveness, when selfish ambition transforms into service for others. It is not a destination to be reached once and for all, but a state of being that grows within us as we walk the path faithfully. Enlightenment is when the light of knowledge moves from the mind into the soul. 4. How do we walk this path? There are 3 practices I believe every seeker can embrace. First, cultivate lifelong learning. Learning does not end with graduation. The world is our classroom, every person our teacher, every failure our lesson. Read widely. Listen deeply. Explore endlessly. Second, ask better questions. Knowledge begins with curiosity. Wisdom grows from inquiry. Do not fear doubt, it is the doorway to discovery. Ask not only, what is true, but also, why does it matter? And, how can it serve? Third, share what you learn. Knowledge, like fire, grows brighter when shared. Each time you teach, explain, or inspire someone else, you do not lose knowledge, you gain depth. Sharing transforms information into community, and community into Liga. The challenges of the path. Of course, the path of knowledge is not always smooth. It is paved with struggle, confusion, and sometimes loneliness. To learn is to admit ignorance, and that is never comfortable. To seek wisdom is to challenge old assumptions, and that can feel unsettling. But every step of discomfort is a step closer to growth. Every unanswered question is an invitation to explore. Every mistake, when embraced, becomes a stepping stone toward greater understanding. The greatest danger is not ignorance itself, but the illusion of knowledge, the belief that we already know enough. True seekers never stop learning. 6. A call to action. My friends, the world today needs seekers more than ever. We live in an age of information, facts are everywhere, but wisdom is scarce. Opinions shout loudly, but understanding whispers quietly. We have endless access to knowledge, but not always the patience to turn it into enlightenment. So I challenge each of us. Do not be content with information. Strive for wisdom. Do not hoard knowledge for yourself. Share it freely. Do not fear the unknown. Step into it with courage. Remember this, every book you read, every lesson you embrace, every truth you discover is a key. And each key opens a door. And behind those doors lie wisdom, compassion, and enlightenment. 7. Closing words. let us return to the phrase we began with. The path of knowledge opens doors to wisdom and enlightenment. This is not just a saying, it is a promise. If we dare to walk this path, if we remain curious, humble, and generous, we will find that the doors truly open. And beyond them, we will glimpse the light that makes life worth living. So let us walk boldly. Let us seek tirelessly. Let us share generously. And in doing so, let us become not just knowledgeable, but wise. Not just wise, but enlightened. Thank you. Reflection and a personal story. Before I conclude, let me share a story. There was once a young student who believed that knowledge was measured only by grades and certificates. He worked tirelessly, memorized every fact, and proudly collected awards. Yet, when life confronted him with challenges, loss, failure, and disappointment, he realized that all the information he had memorized could not comfort his heart or guide his choices. So he returned to the path, but this time differently. He sought not only to know, but to understand. He listened to others with humility, he asked deeper questions, he learned from both books and experiences. Slowly, knowledge transformed into wisdom. And through wisdom, he discovered peace, resilience, and purpose. That was his first taste of enlightenment. That student, my friends, was me. I stand before you not as someone who has mastered the path, but as a fellow traveler. And I can tell you, the path of knowledge is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Each lesson, each discovery, each moment of clarity becomes a light that guides us forward.